Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel, zanipoy.com. And in this video, I would like to share about the great news, the best ever news that I haven't been waiting for many years in this industry, which is about finally, okay, the past, the Dewan Rakyat has passed the newly Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act, okay, for Malaysia. I went for 3 readings from Monday, and it was passed yesterday. Okay, basically yesterday on 11 of 11 of October 2023. Finally, okay, this law, okay, this act is quite close to me because it has a long history. Okay, something that have been waited, all of us have been waiting for it for many years since I started my career way back over 20 years ago. Okay, when I heard about the energy efficiency related law. Okay, and finally, the law was approved. Okay, at the Dewan Rakyat. Of course, there are several more processes, to go through before it can be gazetted. However, it's there now, passed at the Parliament. Okay, just historically, all right, just for your information. Okay. The law have the same law. Okay, the conservation law has been drafted. Okay, it was drafted first time somewhere in 2010, so 2011. Somehow it stopped in 2012. Which the reason I don't want to share here is quite sensitive. Okay, I was involved in that drafting. Okay, closely. I was the resource person at the ministry that time until I left the government. It was stopped. Okay, it was stopped. Okay, in 2012. Which I cannot disclose the reason. Okay, and then it stopped. Okay, and then finally, okay, when the new government took over in 2018, all right, the new minister that time, for energy, YB Bayin, restarted the effort. All right, restarted the effort, drafted the law again. So I was involved again in 2011, 2018, okay, drafting it, okay. I was invited to be in the committee, drafting committee, involved in a lot of discussion meetings, headed by the Ministry of Energy with the key agency of Energy Commission, okay. And then it looks good, it looked good, but somehow the government changed, okay. And the next two ministers after YB Yobiyin was useless, all right, nothing moved, all right, just announcement. But finally, okay, and finally, okay, under the leadership of YB Nick Nazmi, okay, and for the from the new government, all right, made it, finally at the Dewan Rakyat on 11th of October. It was passed. Okay, thank you, YB. Okay, this is your legacy and something that significant. Okay, now the law is there. Okay, and the challenge now, okay, for me, okay, for us, whoever out there as an industry player, as practitioner in this energy efficiency industry. So what next? Okay, is for us to make the law effective. The law cannot be effective by itself. It requires everyone's commitment. Okay, support. To make it work. Okay, as a practitioner for the past 20 over years, as someone that involved quite directly, deeply in the in the drafting of the law, okay, in the many programs in the government until now, okay, I'm happy, but I know a lot of work are waiting for us to make it effective. Okay, and today, okay, the law is not being enforced yet. Okay, I would like to share my thoughts. Okay, specifically, okay, on how, okay, what can we do, what can be done, what to prepare. Okay, I would like to share my interpretation. Okay, my opinion. Okay, on provisions, on clauses in that act. Okay, that I believe, okay, is strongly related to my area of expertise, which is energy management system, and also role of energy managers. Okay, energy managers. Okay, so I like to share my thought on that. All right, and I'll share in this about this act, my opinion, my personal opinion. Okay, uh, in several more videos after this. And in this today's video, I would like to share. In this video, I would like to share about only about something related to energy management system in particular, and also partly about role of energy managers. Okay, let me share the screen. All right. Okay, I'll share the screen. Okay, I managed to prepare this. Okay, for the name of the act is the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act. I would anticipate will be on 2023. All right, and I would like to share my thoughts, my personal opinion and thoughts about a key provision or clauses that are related to the energy management system implementation. Okay, so when is the effective date? We don't know yet because according to the news, okay, the act will be enforced, okay, 12 months after it's gazetted. So all of us has to wait for the gazette because to implement the law, this act, all right, it will come together with several regulations and also guidelines. I think ST Energy Commission is now busy, okay, finalizing. I think they have prepared some of the documents. I believe so, but they are busy finalizing it. All right. So I think there has to be everything ready. All right. And they should have. So we have all of us has to wait or have to wait. Okay. The gazette date. Okay. And then 12 months after that, the law will be enforced accordingly. So there'll be this act as the enablers. Okay. All clauses in this act all about the enabling clauses, and we have to follow the regulations under this act, okay, all right, and also together with the guidelines, that will be published by Energy Commission for the implementation of this act or the enforcement of this act. So in general, okay, these are clauses, in this act. Okay, this is the arrangement of the clauses. I took this from the bill being published, from the bill, the or draft of the act. All right. So there are part one, okay, on the preliminary, part two on the function and powers of commission, Mr. Energy Commission. Okay, they got now the Energy Commission now has more powers on top of the current law. Energy Supply Act 1990, as Gas Supply Act 1994, and then sorry, if I'm not mistaken, 1994 and 1992. All right, and now Energy Commission has more power specifically for energy efficiency. And then part three, okay, duties of energy consumer. I'll focus on this in this video. Okay, duties of consumers, and then part four, okay, is about the duties of person in charge of building, and then part five about products, okay, on the products, and part six about the registration of energy managers and energy auditors, and also part seven about the registration of the training institution. Okay, part eight about the power to gather information by Energy Commission, and part nine enforcement. Okay, enforcement, and finally part 10 about other things. All right. So these are the arrangement of clauses, okay, in the act. I would like to focus our discussion today about this part three, duties of consumers. Particularly in this video, I will talk about my opinion and understanding about clause 5, 6, and 7. 5 about appointment of registered energy manager. Okay. 6, energy management system. 7, efficiency and conservation report. This falls under the part 3, duties of energy consumer. All right. Okay, let's look at the part one. Okay, quickly. Okay, I managed to extract, okay, about from the act, all right, about some of the key definitions. Okay, interpretation part. Okay, we talk about key definition. These are some of the key terms and definition as stated in the act. I took it from the act. All right. They define clearly what's energy. All right, what's energy audit, what's meant by building. I extracted some. There are many more. Okay, energy intensity, energy auditor, registered energy auditor. All right, and then energy efficiency, intensity level. Okay, person in charge in building, ratings, consumer, energy manager, registered energy manager, energy management system. So today, in this video, talk about the energy management system. It's about how the act defined, which is never been here before. In the current regulations, efficient management of energy regulation 2008. All right, there's no definition about energy management system. And here, mentioned clearly here. So energy management system means that a set of interrelated or interacting elements to establish an energy policy and objective, and the processes and procedures to achieve the energy objectives. All right. So I would say quickly, when I see this definition, it's nothing new to me, because it is a common definition of typical energy management system. Therefore, if you are familiar with energy management system or any typical management system, this terminology is not totally new to you. Okay, for me, it's not surprising at all, because this is the typical definition of energy management system. All right. Now let's talk about this part two, duties of energy consumers. All right, let's talk about this. Right. So in this law, okay, first of all, okay, we talk about to whom this so-called law, this act is applicable. Okay, under clause 3, okay, this act mentioned, okay, this act is shall apply to any energy consumer whose energy consumption for a period of 12 consecutive months equal to or exceed the energy consumption threshold as be prescribed. So means that this will be prescribed under the regulations. Okay, so there will be a regulation to prescribe this. Okay, and then any building as described in the third schedule. Okay, third schedule, right? And then this, of course, you should have to refer to third schedule of this act. And then also about the products. All right. And what I gather from the news, in the last few days, okay, this is what stated from the news. I get the information provided by the ministry, okay, to the reporters. All right. So look here, who are affected? Who are affected here? If you look here, who are affected? Okay. So look here. All right. So basically, who are affected? Okay. So the first one, industrial and commercial users that consume 21,600 gigajoule per annum or per year, or equivalent to, based on current market price of energy, RM 2.4 million in terms of electricity bill per year, or RM 1 million in natural gas bill. All right, this is method. If you are fall under this category, if you are the user under fall this category, you will be affected. Okay, you'll be affected. And then, so this will cover about 1,500 out of 2,700 industrial consumers, okay, representing 70 to 80% of the industrial consumption. So as well as about 500 out of 1.7 million commercial buildings consumers. Okay, and then also, okay, we require compliance by buildings, office building, measuring, okay, 8,000 square meter and above, okay, to meet certain ratings requirement. Okay, so basically, so you also will cover commercial building and also industrial buildings. So these are the what I gathered from the news. All right, currently over 300 government buildings has complying to current requirement. Okay, so but this act, okay, will eventually cover further, which is covering hotels and hospitals. Okay, so estimated about another over 4,000 buildings to be covered under the new act. So this is the coverage. Okay, who will be affected. So now, if you know you are falls under this category of users. Okay, so be prepared. All right. And then somehow from the what I think will be mentioned in the news, all right, compliance, because this law about making, the whole provision or the clauses in this act is all about for you to manage your energy more efficiently and systematically. So therefore, if you manage your energy systematically, all right, you'll save your energy. In this assumption, the estimate about you can reduce the bill up to 25%. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, and then let's talk about the first clause. Okay, clause 5. Okay, clause 5 about the appointment of the of registered energy manager. Okay, if you look here, clause 5 mentioned that. So whoever, for any consumer who somehow has to comply, they must or they shall appoint a registered energy manager. Okay, means that energy manager that must be registered with the Energy Commission to its category. Okay, and then what I would like to highlight in this video is more about the roles of the or function and duties of the registered energy managers appointed. Okay, if you look here, all right, they clearly mentioned here what are the function and duties of the registered energy manager. You look at the first one is to collect and analyze the data on energy of an energy consumption. Okay, okay, by the energy consumer. Means that they must collect, collect and analyze. So we must analyze. And then B, okay, B, ensure that the energy consumer implement energy management system. This is interesting. Interesting, right? So means that whoever affected by this act must have energy management system before they can implement. So they must develop energy management system so that they can implement the system. So it means that energy manager, a registered energy manager, they must know how to develop, okay, and implement energy management system for the organizations. All right. So this is key for me. This is very very important because in the previous regulation, in the current regulation, there's no mention at all about the requirement to have the energy management system. So it means that now, all right, it means that, all right. So every company affected by this law or organization, they must know what is energy management system. And the energy manager, all right, must know how to guide, how to help, how to drive, to develop, and subsequently to implement energy management system. Because C mentioned, C here, okay, to C, to monitor the implementation of the energy management system. Means that monitor means that the energy manager should know what to monitor, what to monitor, how to even monitor for me, my understanding here, more to monitor the performance of the system, that how much the performance has been improved or will be improved. So this two, B and C, to me is very important, very critical. Okay, this is where, okay, I am happy to see this. I'm happy to see this. Okay, and I was told, we were told by many even before by the commission, Energy Commission has already prepared the guidelines, about the requirement to be followed about energy management system under this act. So means that we'll be guided, but normally guideline just a statement on the requirement. Okay, but as energy manager, okay, we must know how to interpret that statement into something tangible, or something can be implemented, or something can be executed. Okay, as evidence. Okay, as evidence. Subsequently, if any commission will come for the checking for the enforcement. Interesting. I'm very happy to see this provision, and then subsequently to prepare the reports. And I was told as well, okay, I attended a few seminars. Energy Commission also has already prepared the guidelines for the reports. But for me, if you have the system completely developed, if the system is working, a report basically will be very, very easy. So all come back to the energy management system. Okay, and then secondly, next one, E, okay, to ensure all data are accurate, to ensure the accuracy of information provided in the report. This one is requirement. If you're talking about ISO 2001, there's a requirement under clause 6.6. Okay, data collection to ensure the accuracy, adequacy, and repeatability. Interesting, interesting. Okay, and then the next one, okay, F. So energy manager to advise. Okay, to advise the consumer on any other energy saving measures that can be implemented. So this is important, okay? How to identify energy saving measures. So somehow, other than the typical knowledge and experience, expertise by an engineer manager or others, okay, they may have to conduct energy audit. Okay, I know in this act the requirement, there will be a requirement to conduct energy audit, but I won't elaborate further that in this video, maybe in the next video. All right, and then other duty may be determined by the commission. But for me, this provision is very important. For me, energy managers must look into these provisions, okay, the current energy managers, and must know how to translate this into action that will help to meet the requirement of this, to comply to this requirement. I think without the legal requirement, if you do this right, you will save energy subsequently. Okay, don't worry. Okay, this is about clause 5 about the appointment of registered energy manager and what are energy managers are expected to do. This is the function and duties of the energy manager to be appointed, to meet the legal requirement to this act of this act. Interesting. Okay, this is clause 5. Okay, I think I give me some more time and I'll do some analysis to compare all this. It's how this provision will be is a similar to the requirement under the ISO 50001. I can see it straight away. Okay, all right. And then clause 6, interesting, specific on the requirement for energy management system. Clause 6. So if you look here at the clause 6.1, okay, so means that this act applies whoever has to comply to this act. All right, okay, they shall develop. Shall in legal term means that must develop. Okay, interesting. So shall develop, okay, an energy management system within the period as prescribed, and implement. Shall develop and implement the energy management system. Okay, means that every company must have an energy system, so they must develop and implement. So who is supposed to be the driver of this, the champion of this? Again, in the clause 5, energy manager. Okay, if you look back here, right? If you look back here, all right, to ensure that, right? Look here, clause 5 2B, to ensure that a consumer implement energy management system. So it's the job of the energy manager to ensure and the consumer can develop and implement the energy management system. Okay, and then the system to be developed, okay, at least, okay, shall develop, implement the energy system according to the guidelines that will be published by the Energy Commission later, I guess. Don't worry. So it's very fair. It's very fair because the law says this, but come together with the guidelines. Okay, so once the guideline published, I think all of us can refer and we can find a way how to interpret. This is where, I can help. This is my forte. This is my specialty, and I spent over almost 10, I think since 2012, okay, over 10 years just doing this, for many companies. Okay, interesting. So there's actually this in the law itself, you must have the energy management system under clause 6. It's no excuse anymore. Okay. And then subsequently, okay, this is in the last in the video, clause 7 about the energy efficiency and conservation report. In this clause 7, so I guess the report should be on yearly basis. Basically, what will be in the report? What will be in the report? So with that here, look here, clause 7, okay. All right. So shall prepare an energy efficiency and consumption report for each consumer, which shall contain this for the following information. Okay. So first, the description of the system, and then details, okay, on the total amount of and purpose of consumptions. Okay. Energy and resources by the consumer, and then C, proposed measures, means that energy saving measures. Okay. That proposed, what been proposed, plan for implementations. Okay, and then followed by D there, okay, D, okay. Details of the any other energy efficiency and conservation measure that have been implemented, okay, and then and not implemented. So basically, the data or information about the energy saving measure which is proposed, all right, which is implemented, which not implemented yet. So all must be recorded accordingly. So that's why I believe, okay, if you have a proper system, management system developed accordingly, if you follow standard like EnMS, right, EnMS, right, or even ISO 2001, all is there, all are there, all are there, all are there. So this is the benefit of you have a system to manage your energy resource. You have no problem at all to comply to the legal requirement of this act. And what you need to have basically. So this is where I can see that the role of energy managers, whoever being appointed at a particular consumer, they must really stand up and do their part. Okay, because under the current regulations, the definition of the role of an engineer is quite vague. All right, even the requirement what to do also not clear. But in this particular act, all right, a lot of things clearly defined. Okay, it's all about management of energy efficiently. Okay, systematically. Okay, therefore, this is something good for the country. This is something good for everyone. Because not only that, all right, it also create opportunities for all of us in the market as a practitioner, as an industrial player. For me, my role, what role I can play now with my experience and exposure about management system for over 10 years, right? Okay, and my exposure to the overall energy industry for over 25 years. Okay, this is where I can help in particularly about how to develop energy management system through I can conduct training, I can train, okay, can conduct training with all the hands-on, okay, practical exercises, example, okay, all right, and also I can also help to develop the system accordingly. All right, so I think in this video I have to share about this clause 5, 6, and 7 only. Okay, and then I hope this is something good. All right, this is something good. All right, this is something very very good. All right, so I hope this law will work. Okay, of course I'll use whatever uh, resources and capacity that I have. All right, to support to make sure the law will work effective within my capacity as industrial player. Okay, as a practitioner. Okay, as also the president of the current Malaysian Association of Registered Energy Manager or Marine. Okay, through my membership under my school. All right, so that's what I can do. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Okay, I'll share further clause by clause, all right, my understanding, my thought, my opinion based on my knowledge and experience in this field, especially in energy management system development, implementation, until certification. Okay, but in this particular case, you don't think about certification. Okay, you just think about how to have a proper system in place. Okay, and again, okay, I want to highlight here the role of energy managers. Okay, become much more so-called important and critical. To make sure the effectiveness of this act. When it comes to the enforcement. 12 months after the gazette date. All right. With that, thank you very much. Okay. See you in the next video. I'll talk more about other clause in this Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act. Okay. 2023. Okay. Again, I would like to record my sincere, deepest congratulations. And thank you. Okay. To team in Energy Commission, particularly headed by my good friend. All right, Encik Zulkifli Omar. Okay, and the teams, the officer very dedicated for the past 7 years. They're working on this. And also the whole Energy Commission team, right, to make this possible, and not to forget the people in the ministry. All right, okay. I think the many of you from the, I think some of you no longer there, but many of you, I know, so you know who you are. Okay, we are lucky because we have a minister this time around that want to make things happen, not just talk. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is your legacy. This is your contribution. Okay. So together we can make the nation much more energy efficient. Again, the journey, actually, this is just a very good start for us. All right. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. All right.